This is a video from CNBC that breaks down all of the costs that's associated with the things that we're dealing with on a regular basis, all right? Why is food so expensive? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get it in.
Big and tasty. For just $1, you did your thing, dog.
Remember the dollar menu? Well, you may be hard-pressed to find any fast food item that actually costs $1 anymore.
$17 for 3 Filet-O-Fishes at McDonald's? Are you kidding me?
I don't have the money to buy fast food anymore.
Don't you just miss the days when fast food was actually cheap?
When looking at fast food menus nationally, here are the average prices for fries from McDonald's, a Happy Meal, and a burger combo from Burger King. But I paid even more than that. Here are the prices at fast food locations by the NBC offices in Midtown Manhattan.
Broadly speaking, sales are performing much stronger than foot traffic, and that's due in part to higher prices.
The Consumer Price Index measures inflation, or the average increase in prices over time. Fast food falls into the limited service meals category. Think anything that's typically ordered at a counter and taken to go. From 2019 to 2023, prices in this category are up nearly 28%. That's more than full-service meals. Think sit-down restaurants with servers, which increased nearly 24%. And it's also more than overall inflation, which increased 19%. So why are fast food prices so high, and where will they go from here?
Well, I can tell you some of the reasons that I know that fast food prices is so high. One of the reasons why fast food prices is so high is because it costs more to be able to pay the workers. And so what happens is you have to pass that cost over to the consumers. And again, I say this all the time as a person that has built multiple different restaurants, including one of the ones personally myself. And the true cost of doing business in a restaurant, especially and even in the fast food service industry, is not the food themselves. The food is usually the lower margin thing as far as the real expense that's associated with the restaurant. You have wages, you got insurance, you got building costs, you got rent, you got utilities. Utilities is a real big one. And so it's a lot of factors that go into it, including all of the associated taxes that comes along with it, right? And so there's so many different things that go into it. And usually, again, anything that happens within a restaurant, they have to pass that expense over into the customer. So that's my theory. I haven't seen this yet.
Can I please get a Titan turkey? Can I get a foot long? Yeah, just that. Between 2022 and 2023, the cost of food, beverage, and packaging rose around 11% for both McDonald's and Chipotle. Still, as of late, labor is the main culprit.
Food is about 1/3 of the cost of a menu item. So even as those costs moderate, in many cases, and particularly given the laws that we're seeing in California and some of the other, minimum wage laws and just increases that are happening, is that wage pressure remains elevated.
The fast food labor market became increasingly competitive for employers during the pandemic as companies struggled to fill their restaurants. In 2022, the number of employees in the limited service restaurant category were still below 2019 levels. During that same time, the number of limited service establishments grew by over 4%.
As things normalized after COVID, you still see a higher amount of job openings and less people coming in to fill those jobs.
Unless you're over in California and they're paying you $20-something an hour.
Compared to 2019, the percentage of sales that goes towards paying for labor has grown for many limited service restaurants like Wendy's and Shake Shack, where it has actually decreased for restaurants like the Cheesecake Factory and Darden Restaurants, which owns chains like Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, and the Capitol Grill.
And you know what I actually love the Capitol Grill. I didn't even know that Darden Restaurants own the Capitol Grill. Capitol Grill is one of my favorite restaurants, aside from J. Alexander's. I just read that Red Lobster plans to file for bankruptcy coming up soon. Let me see something. Red Lobster. Yep. Red Lobster is closing U.S. locations. Restaurants shutter in 8 states. Nearly 100 Red Lobsters marked closed on a restaurant site. Sudden closing sparks backlash. Sparks MAGA backlash. According to the Wall Street Journal, they prepare to file for bankruptcy protection this month. Literally. So they already telling you that they plan on filing for bankruptcy. Bloomberg is reporting the same thing as the Wall Street Journal. So even as costs stabilize in a lot of these places, they still plan on shuttering it because they can't afford to compete. And now Red Lobsters and the like, and the sit-down restaurants, a lot of these restaurants has been basically consolidated under these massive brands. A lot of times they can't even compete against the fast food places because now people are treating fast food places like regular sit-down restaurants. And I'm not talking about the Benny Hines and the Ocean Primes, but I'm telling you that people are looking at Chick-fil-A and they spending just as much, if not more money at a Chick-fil-A than they were spending when they were going to a Olive Garden or when they was going to a Red Lobster. I'm telling you, bro.
In order to maintain the same service levels and expand their operating hours to accommodate the consumers' late night snack demands and demands for earlier breakfast, fast food restaurants need to hire more labor across the day part. And so as they're competing with other potential employers, they need to make the job more enticing. And the easiest way to do that is by raising the wage rate.
And companies are passing these costs on to the customer, especially as states like California have raised the minimum wage for workers.
And obviously, despite this huge wage inflation, there's a lot of other factors at play. I think when you look at inflation within limited service, first of all, you're starting with a lower check average. And so any increase of $1 or $2 that an operator passes on just by definition has a higher percentage increase on it.
From December 2023 to February 2024, the national average for a quick service restaurant check was about $18, which is 4.5% more than the same time period last year. That's a higher percentage increase than both casual and fine dining. And full-service restaurants are capitalizing on the decreasing price gap.
How is this Chili's 3 for me only $10.99 when fast food is so expensive?
It could be because we don't have to pay for any mascots.
Maybe the Applebee's, the Chili's, and all of them, maybe those are basically becoming the new fast food restaurants as far as replacing them. And the fast food restaurants is actually becoming a fine dining. And I will also tell you that I've talked to restaurant owners that own several different franchises here in the Metro Detroit area. And one of the things that they said is, Anton, is more cost effective for us to only have the drive-thru open. And what they also realized was that having just the drive-thru open, see, COVID changed everything, bro. It changed the way that we view things. And sometimes it changed it in a good way, and sometimes it changed it in a bad way. And one of the things that they realized in COVID, some of the couple of the different franchise owners told me, is that they realized that actually closing a dining room helped save them money. It saved them money in labor. It saved them money in costs of having to divert the different team members. It helped them reduce the cost of having to continuously hire because they couldn't keep staff, because it's hard to keep staff at whatever the wages are considering inflation, and that it's easier to have people go through one line, and then everybody, you can have less people do more work and serve more customers quicker. And so people are less likely to get outside the car. You don't have to clean the lobby. You ain't got to worry about the bathrooms. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. And so in a lot of ways, what they did was, even if they could reopen up the lobby, a lot of them just kept open just the drive-thru and act like they ain't have enough staff to continue to only staff the drive-thru. And so they was saving money that way, but they was raising more, or they was generating more revenue because they had more people coming through quicker.
Please! I was born for this!
It has created a shift in fast food consumer behavior.
Perhaps before they were going there 10 times, but now they're still only spending $100, and maybe they're going there 8 times or 7 times, right? And so you start to see this traffic fall off because they're still spending essentially the same amount, but they're now going less frequently.
That looks so crazy, bro. Dude is getting stuff all over his shirt. Did you see the way he bit into that? How much sauce do we got on that? Look. That look crazy, bro.
Although prices for fast food have soared, sales have remained strong. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Yum Brands, which owns KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell, have all seen revenues surge past pre-pandemic levels.
A lot of the sales are still going up. And a lot of that's driven by price as opposed to frequency or visits.
A lot of investors are now focused on who is best positioned to drive growth based on volume, because you can obviously only push your price higher for so long.
And it's going to be very difficult for people to sustain those prices, but there is help on the way for a lot of these restaurant owners. And the help is coming in form of robotics, artificial intelligence, screens, ways that we've already trained the consumer to continue to make adjustments to what's happening out here in the industry. And you're going to see changes happen all across the board. You're going to see more iPad-like screens. You're going to see more kiosk ordering, more through the apps. You're going to see more software engineering. And now they're engineering machines to basically be able to drop these fries consistently over a period of time, to be able to flip these burgers consistently over a period of time. And you're going to see all of the customer service move out the window. That's what I think is going to happen in the industry. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Anton got to go ahead and jump into this meeting because I'm 5 minutes late. And they're pinging me. But we did.